In a quiet village nestled between lush valleys and lofty mountains lived a young woman named Mira. From her early years, Mira was known for her deep curiosity and an unquenchable thirst for knowledge. However, a cloud of self-doubt perpetually loomed over her. Despite her dreams bubbling within her, she often told herself that she wasn't good enough, that she would fail, that what if others laughed at her when she stumbled. Mira was a dreamer, but years of self-imposed limitations clogged her path like fallen leaves on a forgotten road. Mira spent her days working in her parents' small bakery. The aroma of fresh bread and pastries wafted in the air, filling her with warmth but also fueling her yearning for something more. Each day, she watched the sunrise over the mountains, captivated by its beauty and all the possibilities it symbolized. It was during these silent moments of contemplation that Mira would whisper her dreams to the dawn, forging a connection with her aspirations, yet unsure how to grasp them. One fateful day, a wise elder, known in the village as the Sage of the Heights, visited the bakery. He was a man of few words, but his presence commanded attention. Mira, intrigued by his reputation for sharing wisdom, found herself drawn to him. "Elder," she said, her voice tremulous with equal parts hope and fear, "I want to achieve so much more than I am now, but I don't know where to start. I feel trapped by my own doubts." The sage looked deeply into her eyes, as if searching for the flicker of light that often gets snuffed out by insecurities. "Mira," he declared, "the mountains you see are not there to intimidate you. They are there to inspire you. Each mountain has a peak, but the journey to those peaks is what shapes us. It's time you see your struggles not as barriers but as stepping stones." With those words, something shifted within Mira. She felt a gentle nudge from the depths of her being, as if the universe was whispering a song of encouragement that had long been silent. Inspired, Mira made it her mission to embark on a journey of self-improvement. Mira started by pinning down her fears, admitting them to the paper as if they were shadows she could cast away under the light of day. With each word, she peeled back her layers of intimidation, reading them aloud to the mountains until they echoed back, tiny voices whispering that it was okay to be afraid, but that being afraid didn't mean she had to stop. Slowly, she began to experiment with things she had always wanted to try: painting, writing poetry, and even learning to play a musical instrument. Each involvement came with its hurdles. The paintbrush sometimes felt slippery in her hands, words often didn't flow as freely as she hoped, and the music notes danced just out of reach. Yet, with each misstep, she learned to laugh at herself. After all, even the tallest trees had to bend in storms. As she grew bolder in her tasks, she decided to confront her acrophobia. The sage had spoken of peaks, hence, she aimed for the highest one in their region. But first, she needed to prepare. Every day, she hiked a little further, challenging her fears and welcoming the sweat of perseverance. She remembered the words of the sage, how her journey was paramount. Climbing was more than reaching the top. It was about valuing each step, learning with every breath. Mira's transformation didn't go unnoticed. People in the village began to talk, some inspired by her journey, others confused by her sudden change. She was no longer the quiet girl locked in the bakery. The one who dared to step away from what was comfortable to explore the unknown presented her an unfamiliar image to everyone who knew her. Yet, Mira found freedom in authenticity, understanding the importance of being true to her evolving self. Months passed, and soon the day came for her to climb the mountain. The morning was still, the air crisp with the promise of adventure. It was as if the universe had orchestrated this moment just for her. Heart racing, she set off, feet firm and mind focused. Although challenges presented themselves, she stumbled over rocks, battled against the biting wind, and faced the mounting fatigue. Each obstacle transformed into an opportunity for growth. She chose to see them not as failures, but as metaphors for life. As she approached the peak, the world below her began to fade, replaced by the euphoric feeling of heights. She stood at the summit, breathless not just from the climb, but from the realization that she had overcome so much more than the mountain. In this moment, she understood what the sage had meant. The journey had been a reminder that within challenges lay the contours of personal development. Mira smiled, waves of warmth and accomplishment washing over her. The little girl who had once hidden behind self-doubt was now a young woman, standing proud against the vastness of the sky. With newfound clarity, she understood that failure was a part of life, not an endpoint but a stepping stone, leading instead towards something greater. Returning to the valley below, she shared her journey with the villagers. She spoke of dreams and fears, of the mountains and the valleys, of laughter in the struggle, and how embracing imperfection had invited serenity and strength. Embrace your journey, she urged them. Celebrate your missteps, they hold the wisdom you seek. Let the winds of doubt blow, but let them only serve to lift you higher. As Mira's words resonated within the hearts of the villagers, many were inspired to confront their fears, tapping into their own desires and aspirations. They began to gather in her parents' bakery, sharing stories of their dreams, exchanging laughter over failures, and creating a community bound by the shared pursuit of growth. Years later, when Mira looked back on her life, she was filled with gratitude. The obstacles that once stifled her were now the stories that propelled her forward. She had become a guide for others, encouraging them to unearth their potential and believe in themselves. In the end, what is most profoundly learned is that self-improvement is not a solitary journey. It is interwoven with the collective spirit of those around us. It teaches us that vulnerability is not weakness but a bridge to connection and understanding. Each mountain we climb shapes us. Every fall teaches us resilience. If we approach life's uncertainties with open hearts and nurturing minds, we will see that we are capable of far more than we ever imagined. As this tale of transformation concludes, remember, it is within you to create your own narrative of growth. Embrace the adventure, confront your fears, and know that the extraordinary awaits you just beyond the horizon. We are all works in progress, learning and evolving each day. Take a moment and reflect. Within you lies a boundless potential, waiting to illuminate the world, just as the sun rises each morning to awaken the dreams we may have thought lost to the shadows. Seek them, embrace them, and let your light shine.